Alright, let's dive into what went down at the Chinese Grand Prix this weekend, because there's a ton to unpack, and trust me, it's not your typical F1 recap. First off, let's talk about the sprint race. Personally, I think the sprint format is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it's pure chaos, and China delivered that in spades. George Russell and the Ferraris were basically playing yo-yo at the front, and the midfield? Absolute madness. But here's the thing, chaos doesn't always equal great racing. Esteban Ocon called it out perfectly, it's not go-karts. The unpredictability is fun to watch, but for the drivers, it's a headache. You can't plan an overtake because you'll just get re-overtaken. It's like a game of whack-a-mole, and that raises a deeper question. Is this the kind of racing F1 wants to promote? In my opinion, the balance between strategy and raw racing is getting blurred, and that's something the sport needs to address. Now, let's talk Red Bull. Their engine has been the talk of the paddock for months, but China exposed a weakness. The track's energy demands leveled the playing field, and suddenly Mercedes and Ferrari were right there. What makes this really interesting is how it highlights the nuances of F1 car design. Red Bull's strength in energy management on other tracks became a liability here. Liam Lawson even admitted it's not their car's forte. But here's the kicker, Max Verstappen isn't letting the team off the hook. He called the car undrivable, and that's a big red flag. It's not just the engine, it's the chassis, the grip, the balance. If you take a step back and think about it, this could be a turning point for Red Bull. They've dominated for so long, but this weekend showed they're not invincible. And that's fascinating. Speaking of dominance, let's talk about Mercedes. The gap to their rivals looked smaller this weekend, but don't be fooled. George Russell's anti-stall issue and Kimi Antonelli's front wing problem meant they weren't even at full potential. What many people don't realize is that Mercedes is still ahead, probably further than it looks. This raises a deeper question. Are we underestimating them, or are they just playing the long game? Personally, I think it's the latter. They're not panicking, and that's a sign of a team that knows its strengths. Now, let's shift to the drivers. Charles Leclerc's comments about the crazy Q3 laps being a thing of the past really struck me. He said consistency pays off more now, and that's a huge shift in mindset. In my opinion, this new era of F1 is less about raw bravery and more about precision. But here's the thing, does that make it less exciting? I'm not so sure. It's a different kind of excitement, more calculated, more strategic. And that's not a bad thing. Finally, let's talk about Alex Albon and Williams. His comments were brutal. The car's overweight, the balance is off, and nothing seems to fix it. What this really suggests is that Williams' big leap forward in 2026 might not be as big as they hoped. For Albon, who was a standout last year, this must feel like a gut punch. But here's the silver lining, they're not giving up. They're exploring areas they've never been before to fix the car. That kind of determination is what F1 is all about. So, what's the takeaway? This weekend wasn't just about racing, it was about exposure. Weaknesses were laid bare, strategies were tested, and drivers were pushed to their limits. In my opinion, that's what makes F1 so compelling. It's not just about who crosses the line first, it's about the stories behind every lap. And this weekend? It had stories in spades. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below.